Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, January 22, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change call this week, Wednesday night around 9 p.m. Eastern. There'll be a lot of information in that call. Maybe you've noticed, as Robert Adams quoted, we are always looking for something. We want to find the right teacher. But I say that you are the right teacher. The right teacher is where and what you are. Person, place, or thing is not the right teacher. There is a inner explosion waiting inside all of us. And it will be a vast liberating experience that any of us will have ever had in our lifetime. Your experience of reality, all of our experiences of reality, will change vastly. It's almost like if you had a curtain over your face, okay, and everywhere you looked, you could see everything, right, colors and all that, but it seemed kind of dim, all right? And when this boom goes off inside of us, it will look brilliant. There won't be any dimness left. There won't be a room with blacked out windows. The walls of the room, the windows, the ceiling will suddenly be gone, and the brilliant sunshine will be blaring in. And you'll look at it, you'll be experiencing yourself not as a person anymore, yet as an infinite source of expansive witnessing awareness. It will be from a pure conscious energy that was connected to everyone and everything, and nothing less than that. That's what we will be. And for the very first time in our lives, we will feel free from our busy, criticizing, analyzing, chattering minds. And this deep, powerful silence and stillness will begin occurring inside of us. It will feel like it extended for thousands of miles in every direction. And everywhere we go, no matter who we interact with, we will be watching ourselves being reflected in everyone and everything. It will be as if this entire universe was this perfect mirror. Whoever we were or thought that we were will be gone. What will be left of us will be a consciousness that was the entire sea with the energy, thoughts, deepest core feelings of everything around us. Now, what will this allow us to do? Believe it or not, this experience will leave us with an ability to look at any human being and in a matter of seconds know everything and anything that we wanted to know about them. And since our minds will be totally still and quiet, we will hear what was going on inside their mind and soul at the deepest levels. And this isn't an invasion. It won't be uninvited invasion, we will be able to feel into the core issues that people were struggling with their whole lives and could know exactly what they needed to heal. We will experience many unbelievable things that will begin manifesting instantly for us after this inner explosion. It will seem like whatever you want, whatever we want and yearn to have, this universe will pull all its energy, resources, and people together to make it happen fast. And we will realize that this universe wants us to know that it was listening very intimately to our every need, want, wish, and desire, even more closely than we ever could. Many deep realizations and enlightening messages will continuously download into our being throughout this awakening experience. We all will discover the secrets of how we can increase our manifesting abilities, access any information we want, and most importantly, liberate ourselves from the worst internal prisons. It will be shown to us how we could heal the mind and body from any type of wound we are carrying through the power of manifestation. This universe will make it crystal clear that our thoughts and feelings shape and form every minute detail of our reality and world. However, the best thing that will happen out of this atomic mindless experience over the following months to come is that it will have provided the nutrients and foundation for everything for us. A quote from Osho: "Gather all courage and take a jump. Even the dewdrop slipping from a lotus leaf trembles for a moment, tries to hang on a little more, because he can see the ocean. Once he has fallen from the lotus leaf, he is gone. And yes, in a way, you will not be. Just as the dewdrop dissolves into the ocean, you will be gone. But it is not a loss. You will be oceanic, and all other oceans are limited. The ocean of existence is unlimited." Now, probably one of the deepest truths that any of us will have after this no-mind experience will be how deeply and intimately we are connected with each other. We are like one grand ocean of energy consciousness that appears to form itself as separate individuated droplets of ocean water. Upon seeing the totality of our existence, it is blatantly obvious that we are operating under one energy source together. There is one common goal for all mankind. This goal is to merge, be unified with the one divine God source. We are here to experience our true vastness, totally being the all-loving, ever-present cosmic golden ocean. It was apparent how clinging to anyone thought of individuated separation is where all of humanity's feelings of powerlessness, poverty, and suffering begins and ends. A quote by Nisargadatta that says, "Let go of the idea that you are not aware of yourself as the ever-present, changeless, inexpressible reality. What this means is that we are the ones responsible for creating the illusory experience that we are disconnected. And yes, everything is needed and perfect in our world. Even the wonderful illusion of separation is needed, so as later we can create an experience of unification. I find that when we accept our deepest illusions, hardest feelings, and most challenging pools of separation consciousness that we are swimming in, we can one day relax and float downstream, merging back into the great golden ocean. We are always connected with one omnipresent self. We are this single God source that is weaving its ways through everything and everyone. It's just that the mind gets in the way and wants something. It wants to be special, loved, appreciated, and accepted by this world. Now, most people don't believe this is their heart, and thus unknowingly cling to the known, trying to heal, liberate, or enlighten themselves through holding to certain thoughts and ways of thinking about this life. When the mind becomes narrowed down any one path for too long, it becomes fixated and tight, like a closed book, cannot receive the new insights and abundance it could grow into. The most enlightening truth we can handle is the one that greatly increases our power, wisdom, inner peace, and manifesting abilities. As we evolve closer to the exotic, universal truth of who and what we really are, this universe bestows greater gifts, more beautiful manifestations for us to accept and enjoy. The tricky part is that many of us tend to hold tight onto ideas of the past and future. What we think we know feels comforting, especially when met with the great ocean of unknown. Most enlightened and highest experience, the most enlightened and highest experience we humans can tap into is one that cannot be captured by the mind. Yet it reveals itself naturally and spontaneously when the mind is truly at rest and ease. Like the feeling we might get from a spontaneous breeze on a hot summer day. We soften our hearts, quiet our minds, and become deeply receptive. We can relax into it and deeply enjoy it. The head alone is not enough. It is too small of a container to take in the outrageous experience of enlightenment. The greatest experiences can only be absorbed with an open heart and soul. When the mind is quiet, something inside us instantly aligns with this infinite spiritual essence that is inside everything and everyone. When we devote our lives to quieting the mind and opening our hearts to the divine source, we can feel, see, and know our real selves. What is our real self? I've had that question asked numerous times. What is our real self? It's that part of you who feels deeply, intimately connected with everyone and everything. It is so vast that it also has room for the experience that we are small, powerless, separated beings stuck in small pools of individuated consciousness. Yet, it is so much more. The real self is omnipresent, vast as the endless oceans and universes, extremely bright, beautiful, and so powerful that it instantly consumes all the other versions we make up of what reality is. A small warning to the beginner on the spiritual path. It can be quite challenging. This is for the people that are just waking up. It can be quite challenging to just choose to step out of your old self and into this experience of being one with the golden ocean, because everyone around you won't agree or understand what you are going through. We have learned to lean on this society for an understanding of who and what we are. Collectively, we humans have spent the past 2,000 plus years attempting to reconnect with this oneness through religion, because we have completely forgotten that we are already permanently connected to the God Source. We have spiritual amnesia caused by a societal mind that was buried under the illusion that we are like swine, when in truth we are divine. Seeing through this great misunderstanding, we can be liberated from our collective consciousness. We can be free from all suffering, just like how the great masters have done through the ages. This collective awakening is part of the greater plan for our planet's spiritual evolution. As long as this belief in separation is the main way our society operates, we must each choose to rebel against the norm if we are ever to find spiritual freedom. The belief system that we are not one being, is the main reason why there is still war, poverty, and environmental destruction in this very now on this planet. There still remains a belief that we are disconnected. This belief is always being projected, emanating from everybody's mind around us. What everyone believes we are most likely becomes what we believe is true as well. It's safe to say that every single one of us, every single person that we have met in this life has been overly identified with this idea of a separate self, which is the ego, and most likely will fight for upholding the belief in our separation until the very end. It takes a very, very, very clear mind, a courageous heart, and a determined soul to break free from the matrix of illusions this society is casting over our eyes. And a quote from Robert Adams, observe the mind. When thoughts come, ask to whom these thoughts come to. Always watch, witness, observe. Do not get caught in thought. Just surrender. To be free from this societal programming, we must first choose to be free from our ego. For our ego to even exist at all, it must hold firm onto some belief it is separate nature, on some belief in its separate nature. If it doesn't do this, it will feel very lost, confused, and afraid, and eventually give up. The ego must believe that it is a separate somebody rather than an omnipresent nobody. It's been trained to believe it is a drop of water and not the entire ocean as well. This individuated approach to this life has a great payoff of creating a feeling of power, control, and direction in this life. Without the ego, we might believe that all our outcomes and manifestations show up because we are the universe, and the universe is making everything happen. Without the ego, we would only have a feeling of love, abundance, true empowerment, and real inner peace in this life. The greatest truth that we can find is going to be the one that liberates us from this limited, contracted mind ego. The truth that frees our spirit is the one that brings forth the deepest feeling of joy into the lives of everyone around us. This truth is found from intimately knowing our real selves, our permanent, unbounded, infinite spiritual nature. Only from exploring what it feels like to be at one with the ocean of life can we be free. This exploration is what leads us to find full self-realization and true liberation in the end. I'd like you to do a radical experiment with your life right now. I invite you to relax into this idea and feeling that you are separate from the universe right now. Rest deeply into the feeling that you are not at the core of the God source right now. Start with becoming very curious about this idea. Feel into what it actually means until you make friends with it. The goal would be to let yourself completely melt into the feeling of separation and have zero resistance to it. Now, with a little practice, you may discover what it's like to be connected with your experience of separation. The most healing, loving, magical, empowering source in this universe is in everything. So it's also in this experience of separation. The more we can relax into it, the more we open our hearts, quiet our minds, to find that the experience of deep separation dissolves itself naturally on its own accord. When the core of separation, within the core of separation, we will discover the most profound, powerful, unstoppable, and intimate direct connection to this pure channel of intelligent, conscious energy that breathes our very core. So dive into the deepest root of all your problems, faults, self-criticisms, and personal issues. These are where you will feel the most separate and disturbed. Do not wait until it's the right time to do it. Just relax into them every day, whenever and wherever you are. Make it the number one priority of your life to find this loving divine connection that is already here now. Trust that it is already here even if you cannot find it right away. Act as if you are being held like a newborn baby in the most loving, caring mother's arms by simply resting into this feeling of separation. And you will make amazing progress on your spiritual path in a matter of minutes. A quote from Ramana Rishi. You are the supreme being, and yet thinking yourself to be separate from it, you strive to become united with it. What is stranger than this? When one begins their spiritual path, there is this feeling that who we are is more unreal than real. What I mean by this is that it can be shocking to discover that what we thought we were our entire lives is not real. We truly have no clue as to who and what we really are. We are like the infinite edges of the most massive movie screen you can imagine, which has no end to the colorful creative possibilities it could contain. Our freedom comes from knowing our undefinable nature. And when we realize that we are more like a blank, multi-dimensional creative canvas, not all the scenes and stories from the grand film, something inside of us feels very vast and free. Sit back. Take a good look at your life. Take one evening to investigate all the wonderful, horrific, typical, unusual, and peak states from your life. Notice if they sum up everything about who and what you are. Is there anything more than this? Ask yourself, what is my real self? And I get this question all the time. Who am I without all these experiences? Do I still exist without these memories? And if so, what exactly is that? Our real self is beyond the greatest mystery anyone could explore. We are much more amazing and magical than this separated mind-ego. We are bigger than all the life experience that are projected onto us and into us. We are also much more than the pure witness, awareness, consciousness. We are the totality of it all. We are that which life gets to play, dance, and sing all of itself through. The separate, limited, suffering self is a comfortable habit, one that can be dropped by simply knowing how to stop identifying with it. From Nisargadatta. You are neither consciousness nor its content. You are the timeless source, the supreme reality. Trust that. The discovery of the real self is a profound spiritual exploration. The realization of who we truly are is a timeless experience that eventually becomes the death of our ego and the beginning of real freedom. Ironically, it is our deepest, innermost battle for freedom, our resistance to total surrender, that actually perpetuates the ego. When we stop fighting, we begin clearly seeing. The truth is revealed when there is no more need to push, pull, prove, or fight for anything. When we stop the struggle against what is, the ego's clouded existence drops. Something greater enlightens our way. As long as we continue to pursue this life, thinking we are only a separate being, limited in power, love, abundance, and self-expression, we will get attached to goals thinking they will make us happy. Be very, very, very careful not to think that these limited ideas have anything to do with who you are. The concepts of ownership, my life, my body, my thoughts, my stuff, my reality, and my mind are the only thing perpetuating our human experiences of suffering. Drop these ideas, choose to drop these ideas, and see what is left. Nothing is actually ours, and everything is ours when we realize our real self. There is no more need for the feeling of possession when we see that we are infinite spiritual beings already intimately connected to everything. Why would we need to attain something when we already feel connected with it? Desires only form out of separation. When we sit, meditate, who we are, looking deeply within, inside ourselves, eventually the mind will become quiet. When this occurs, we experience the truth that we are eternal beings filled with a great love, magic, and lightness. By knowing this inside, we naturally start living it. We really don't have to be afraid of letting go and trusting. Trusting our real self. The one source will move us, guide us, shape our minds to reconnect with the hearts and souls of everyone. Living from this space, we finally reach a sense of peace with everything in our lives, every day. We wake up and begin practicing being as vast and unlimited as this great infinite universe that we are surrounded by playing an active role in this life, living out this realization in the golden sea of people around you. Then something dawns on you, that you are truly free. Not superficially. When we see this world clearly, that everything is an expression of you, the real self, and you stop hearing what you don't care to hear. Excuse me. We stop seeing what we don't care to see. We stop feeling what we don't care to feel. Our minds are only fixated on the brilliant diamond of consciousness that it's found. We realize that this world is our mirror. Everyone is always reflecting back to us on who we are. If we see an unhappy person, that person is inside of us. When we are truly enlightened, the experience of the divine awakening being begins showing up in everyone in the most interesting ways. We are in an ever-flowing river of gratitude all day long. So become courageous on this path. Take the risk to meditate and quiet your mind all day long. And soon, you'll come to know that what it means to be self-realized. And a Robert Adams quote, remember to love yourself, worship yourself, pray to yourself, devote your life to yourself, find joy in yourself, because God dwells in you as you. I have one last fun little experiment for everyone to play with. Take about 15 minutes to do this exercise. Hold an intention to move down out of your head and relax into your heart. Where is that? Well, if you go from your chin, okay, about a foot down. Move down out of your head, relax into your heart. Your head will be sneaky and try to take over many, many, many times. Yet just bring your energy into your heart space. Imagine your heart is your favorite flower opening its petals up to the great sun. Feel the light entering your heart. It is melting any walls you have inside around feeling loved. Now pick one person in your past who you are not 100% at peace with. Let these warm walls around your heart melt away. Merge with the heart of this person. Feel the sunlight is also inside their heart. Let go of whatever the mind judges about them. The goal is to be 100% at peace with this person for the rest of your life. When you can do this successfully with one person and do it with everyone from your past, take this on as an invitation to be at peace with everyone on this planet in the past and in the future. Practice this and imagine how that will be. Healing simply happens when we are deeply authentic and real with ourselves. When we each stop repressing the truth of who we are and are open with how we are honestly feeling, our real self receives full permission to come out of hiding. Then it's easy to see the truth. We can easily stop being so invested in the opinions of others. We can no longer hesitate, recoil, retreat in fear of another's disapproval. It's our choice if we are ever going to be free from the judger inside us who is not okay with others, and they are, and you as you are, right? It is not okay with others as they are, and as you are. There exists a deeper, mature part which can accept everything inside us. We can stop trying to pretend that we are more adult-like than how we really feel inside. Merging is from the highest path that we can take. Moving into our most enlightened selves comes from seeing that everyone is you in disguise. It is up to us to remember who we truly are. With enough meditation practice, there comes this realization that that you are in me and I am in you. The divine real self that we all are is impossible not to see. We realize it is everywhere and has no actual boundaries. It is not terrified of intimacy with anyone. It loves letting go, shape-shifting and merging with everyone in this universe. It knows that if you cannot see God in all, you cannot see God at all. I have faith that we will all find our real selves. And eventually the gold will sink in, and we all will naturally dive deeper within ourselves and liberate ourselves from the controlling, separating ego mind. My greatest advice to you is this: be gentle with your exploration. Be compassionate with what you find. This life is the deepest mystery. The more we can uncover who we are, the more we see that we have just scratched the surface. And there is so much more that there is to be revealed. In the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer. Albert Camus. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. Take an easy, slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. True strength comes from vulnerability. Only the most wise and courageous souls will choose the path of vulnerability. More ignorant, fearful beings always try to become more cunning, dominating, manipulative, and forceful. This path never leads to real freedom. Being vulnerable creates a shakiness in the ego, which is exactly what allows our souls to expand outward and grow. Our heart soon becomes rooted in a spiritual confidence that's not based in ego, image, or material wealth. Through conscious, vulnerable communication, we will naturally create more intimacy, trust, and connection with others. We will create real friendships and long-term relationships, which only open our hearts to receive more love. Notice how amazing this life is when your heart is relaxed and open, sensitive, joyfully receiving love. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night. And we will return here in the following morning. We will return here Tuesday, January 3, 2024, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening within you or outside of you.